You already know about me now. I really don't want to talk about myself. I hate doing that. We'll directly talk about the topic that is emotional intelligence. Are emotions strengths or weaknesses? So tell me something. We all go through certain emotions, right? Every now and then. I'm sure right now, at this moment, you are feeling something, aren't you?
Sure.
Right. So, do you think emotions are weaknesses, or these are something which help us every now and then? What do you think?
Actually, from my side, it depends on times, and
Uh,
occasions.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Sometimes really it is helpful in some situations, and sometimes it's not helping.
Right, right. Has anybody faced anger issues sometime in the past? Huh? I'm sure everybody, including me, right? Do you think anger is a negative emotion? Is it a negative emotion?
No, I don't think so.
No, it
Ah,
is a negative emotion, I feel.
sorry.
It is a negative emotion, I feel.
I'm sure you have your own opinion. Somebody would say yes, somebody would say no. So, just to let you know, emotions are just emotions. There is nothing called as a positive emotion or a negative emotion. And I can prove this to you. Have you been in a situation wherein anger helped you? Just because you were angry, you were able to do something, you were able to come out of your comfort zone, and you made yourself proud. It took time, it took a while, but you were able to achieve something. Ever happened?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it brings out honest emotions, I would say. And sometimes with a lot of, conviction. So you make things happen sometimes, yeah. But it depends on how you are able to communicate at that moment, I think. Not to really make the other people offended, but I think anger has its own significance, I think. It just brings out the honesty out of you, I think, many times.
Right. And what if I never face anger or any unwanted emotion? Don't you think life is going to be boring? Right. I mean, every time if I'm like happy, I'm a happy-go-lucky person, I'm a person who never feels sad. Don't you think life is going to be boring? I mean, for me, it will be definitely. And that's why each and every emotion has got its own importance. So today's session is all about managing our states. When I say states, I mean emotional states. See, we are not robots. And I'm not a motivational speaker who would say that, hey, be positive, it's okay, things will work. See, come on, it doesn't work that way. Okay, let's be really, really practical. So today we'll be learning a few techniques which will help us to manage our emotions, not avoid, not suppress, not control. Right. And these techniques come from NLP, that is neuro linguistic programming, which is a part of psychology and a branch of neuroscience, right? So that's what we are going to learn. Now, before I tell you a very nice technique, tell me something, okay? Usually, why do you think we get into unwanted emotions? Usually.
Lack of emotional intelligence, maybe.
We don't think through it.
Uh,
If
It's
something
a
does
pile
not
up. It's a
go,
pile up mostly. It's a pile up that has happened that comes out negatively mostly. We've not communicated the right time, and hence it kind of comes out at a wrong time.
who mentioned this? It's a very nice point. I don't know who spoke about
Ruchi,
this.
yeah.
Ruchi, thank you, Ruchi, for bringing this up, because we are going to talk about this as well. That is not to suppress emotions. Let's manage those emotions. And then I can see so many things in the chat box, because of the reaction. Sometimes we lose ourselves, reminds us of a bad memory, yes, and XYZ. But if I have to summarize, I would say we get into unwanted emotions because of two reasons. One, the people around us. Second, the situations, isn't it? Sometimes people take us into unwanted emotions. It can be the existing ones or probably from the past. We have been through tough times, difficult times, and hence we get into those unwanted emotions or the situations around us, right? But ultimately, if you think about it, don't you think everybody goes through the same thing? We all have our own shit. Huh? But still we know that there are people who are able to manage themselves really well. Right? So we can also learn it. Who knows swimming here? Out of context. Okay. All right. And may I know people who don't know how to swim? I'm sure there are a few here. Okay. I can see in the chat box now. Okay. So the people who said we can swim, are you human beings? Are you all human beings? These people are like, I'm going to kill you, Punita. Come on. Do we look like an alien? And the people who don't know how to swim, are you all human beings? So if one human can do something, anybody can learn to do it, isn't it? Unless we have certain things like anybody is disabled or whatever, that's a different story, right? Otherwise, if one human can do something, anybody can learn to do it. And this is another fact from psychology. So when people are stuck into unwanted emotions or situations, this is one liner that you can give it to them or to yourself, that, you know, if people are doing it, if there are people who can manage themselves, then definitely we can also do it. Another thing, life is very easy. That's my funda. Okay. And I mean it. Okay. We make it complicated. Why? Because whenever it is required to manage ourselves, we don't do that. And then we get into mess and we start blaming and cribbing our situations. But actually, it's really easy. So there are certain tools that I'm going to teach you today, which will help you to manage your emotional states. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is reframing. Now, you must have heard of atom. You know atom? We used to learn in our, during our school time, atom, which has got protons, neutrons, and electrons, the smallest unit of matter. Right. Yeah, in physics or even in chemistry, in science. Okay. So people who don't remember, let me remind you, atom is called the smallest unit of matter, and it consists of electrons, which are negatively charged. It consists of protons, which are positively charged, and neutrons, which are neutrally charged, right? Neutral. Now, why am I taking this example? Just like atom, even in our life, there is nothing which is completely negative, just to let you know. There is always something which is good about a situation or a person. So think about the person you hate the most. Think about the person you hate the most right now. I'm sure there is something about this person which is good from your model of the world. Because we have our different perceptions, right? Different thought processes. So that simply means even when you talk about situations, it's not going to be completely negative, because ideally there is nothing negative and positive. What works for me, I'm going to call it positive. What is not working for me, I'll call it negative. Ideally, it's like that. So if we apply the same concept in our life, that, okay, there are situations which are not working for us and which are going to put us in an unwanted state. Why am I calling it unwanted state and not a negative state? Because now you know, if it is working for me, I am calling it positive for myself. If it is not working for me, I'm calling it negative for myself. But ideally, it's just a situation. Let's talk about it superficially, right? Now, coming back to reframing, okay? Just like this atom, okay? Even in our situations or the people we are dealing with, there will be something which is positive about that situation. Something, right? Let me take a worse scenario. So I deal with one-on-one, I deal with people for one-on-one coachings as well. Being a life coach, I do help people whenever they need me, right? So I have seen situations wherein people have lost somebody, in their life, and that situation is putting them into unwanted emotions. I've seen people who have lost their jobs and businesses during COVID times. And still they were able to figure out something positive about that situation. Now you must be wondering, how is it possible? I lost somebody in my life. I lost my job. I lost my business. But if you look into it, okay, it taught you something, isn't it? Something that you would have never learned if the situation was not like that, right? So as of now, I want you to think about, okay, don't tell me, do this for yourself, okay? And be honest with yourself, okay? This is for you. I want you right now to think about a situation or a person who puts you into unwanted emotion. Every time you look at this person, you get into unwanted emotional state. When I say unwanted emotional state, it can be hurt, it can be grief, sadness, anger, anything. Or there is a memory from the past which puts you into this unwanted state. Think about something, any situation or a person. I'm giving you 30 seconds. Just one situation for now, okay? Or one person for now. Don't tell me. Do this for yourself. And when you are done, please write yes in the chat box so that I'm aware. And I'm telling you, this works like magic. Great. Great. All right. Now, whatever the situation is, or the person, or the memory you have on your mind right now, think about it. Go back to the time when things did not work for you related to this person, or this situation, or this memory. And I want you to relive it. It might be challenging, it might be tough, but let me tell you that if you have to make sure you come out of it, if you want to make sure that you overcome it, let's go through the process. Relive the moment, relive the time. You can do this with your eyes open, eyes closed, the way you want to do it, okay? I want you to remind yourself of that situation, that memory, that time, or this person who puts you into this unwanted emotional state. And feel it as if it is happening right now. Relive it. And be honest with yourself and answer this for yourself. How did this event help you in future? Directly or indirectly, consciously or subconsciously. I'm sure you learned something because of this event. I'm sure, 100% sure, what to do and what not to do in future. Because you face this. And this person or this situation you are talking about, or you're thinking about, I'm sure this made you learn something. Give me a yes if you agree after thinking about it. I know it's tough. I know it's difficult, but I'm sure you learned something out of it. Great, great. Good to see people doing it really for themselves. Now, because you learned something from this situation, how do you feel about yourself? Just because you learned something from this situation or this event or this person. Tell me those emotions that you can definitely write in the chat box. Don't tell me the situation. I'm not getting into the content. I understand this is a public platform. But just write down those emotions that you're feeling right now, thinking and knowing that this event helped you to be a better version of yourself. You learned something from it. Great. Somebody says proud, enlightened. What else? Write down those emotions. for yourself. Let's help ourselves. Great. Divine confidence, better vision. Great. Empathy. Wiser. Wow. Wow. And how are you feeling now? Doing this. How are you feeling now? Again, let's be honest. This is for you, not for me. Are you feeling better? A little better at least? Not 100%, but a bit. You know what you just did? You reframed yourself. You reframed your perception. And this technique is called reframing. And what if you do it for each and every situation? Clarity of my life and prioritizing myself. Perfect. I mean, you people are pros. I'm telling you, right? This is called reframing. And you know what? Somebody mentioned suppressed emotions, right? I'll tell you something about emotions. Has anybody been into a situation wherein watching a movie, you felt like crying or there were tears in your eyes? You know why it happens? Because you have suppressed something from the past and it just wants to come out. Right? So whenever we suppress our emotions, when I say suppress, you just want to control yourself. I'm telling you all these videos and all these quotes which tell you to be positive, be positive. This is all toxic positivity. I never believe in that. Right? And we say that instead of getting into toxic positivity, why don't we address our issues and literally overcome it? Figure out what can be done, if there is a solution or if we can make peace with it, something, so that we are literally out of it. Instead of, going with those affirmations, being positive and this and that, right? So simply, if we suppress our emotions now, they would like to come out sometime in future, for sure, right? And if they are coming out in front of somebody which was not required, it will be really embarrassing for you. We get into certain situations like this, right? So something happened at home, you are in your office, you are sitting with your manager or your team members, and you simply react sometimes. Why? Because the emotion was suppressed somewhere else, and now it is affecting other areas of your life, which simply is going to put you in mess. So I've told you just one simple technique as of now, reframing. I'll tell you another one as well in a while. But as of now, are we on the same page? Give me a yes. Are we clear with reframing? And are you going to use reframing in your life? Feel better. Huh? Nice, great. Okay. Now, why do we tend to react or get into unwanted emotions? Because of people, because of situations, I already mentioned, you already mentioned. But, okay, let me give you an example here, okay? Have you been in a situation where you are stuck in a traffic jam? And how did you feel then? Let's be honest. Or whenever you get stuck in a traffic jam, how do you feel? How do you feel? Time wasted, irritated, helpless, anger, frustration, everything coming out. Now, do you know there are people who would really enjoy this time also? Doing something, probably listening to music or making fun of others or making videos on the road, right? I've seen so many people doing this. Or probably they will make a call, chit chat with a friend, happily watching people's activities. Yes. Now, what's the difference? I'm not saying you go and copy them. Okay, I would be the last person to say that, because I believe that we all are unique and we have different ways of having fun. Okay, of making sure that we are enjoying our time. But why does this happen? It happens because there is a belief behind this reaction. So if my belief says, why can't people drive properly? Come on, look at them. Look at my country. Oh my God, these roads and these people. And every time I'm stuck in this traffic jam. Why? People are like this. Government is like this and that. That's my belief. So my belief says that, okay, people should be doing their work properly. And that's why, if they're not doing it, that's the reason I'm stuck in this situation. But what if I challenge my belief? What if I challenge my belief saying that, see, everybody is doing their work at their own pace. And probably there must be something just happened out there. How would I know? Probably some accident or something, right? As soon as I challenge my belief, my emotional state will change. And we call it ABCDE model. ABCDE model. What's ABCDE model? A is the activating event. The event which puts me into unwanted emotions. The activating event, the trigger, right? B is the belief which puts me into that emotion. My belief is, okay, people should take care of others' time, no? Why are they wasting my time? Come on, that's my belief. And the consequence, C, is that I'm getting into an unwanted emotional state, that I'm irritated, I'm frustrated, I'm not enjoying myself. Now, if I challenge this, okay, if I challenge this belief by saying that, okay, probably something must have happened there, no? I mean, everybody is doing their best to make sure that they are happy. Why will they trouble us? Come on, they have got nothing to do with you. So that is D. When you dispute your belief, your existing belief, or when you challenge your existing belief, you will have E. E is the new event or the new outcome, right? So when I use A, B, C, D, E, this is again another technique which brings me out of an unwanted emotional state. Now let's practice this. Do you have any event coming up? I mean, individually. Just let me know, yes or no. Any presentation, any important review meeting, some interview coming up, or some client meeting, or something important. Give me a yes in the chat box. Somebody said every day. Okay. Think about this particular event that is just coming up. Okay. How are you feeling about it? To achieve the target in the upcoming month. Okay. How are you feeling about it? Please be honest, because this session is all about managing our emotions. Stressed, excited, anxious. So if you're excited, very nice. But if there is something which is not working for you, probably your anxiety, probably your stress, let us do this. Okay, let's apply ABCDE model. And I'm telling you, you are going to thank me later. Because I'll pull you out of that unwanted emotion in just next 5 minutes. And you will feel better, just like before. Right? All right. So I want you to think about this event that is coming up. The activating event, A, that I'm talking about. The activating event that is coming up. Just think about it. I want you to close your eyes if possible and go to the time when the event is going to happen. Think about it. Get the visuals, get the sounds, get the feelings. Think about it. Take those 10-20 seconds. It's okay. I'm here. You are here. Think about this activating event that is coming up. Now, I know It is giving you some unwanted emotions, some unwanted feelings. I want you to think about the belief. Why is it giving you unwanted emotions? Think about the belief. What's the reason? What is your belief behind this unwanted emotion? Once you have the belief, I want you to challenge that belief. Challenge it, dispute it from your model of the world. I want you to challenge that belief right away. Challenge it because you know that you have to do well. You know that you have to succeed. You know you want to overcome it. Challenge it. And once you have done that, let me know, how do you feel about it? What is a new emotion like after you have challenged your own belief? Great. Free from the fear, unstoppable acceptance. Wow. I feel so good looking at these messages. Nice. Confident. Nice. Great. Now, what we just did, we call it ABCD model, right? Again, this is another way which will help you to come out of any negative emotion, and especially if you have an event coming up. If something happened in the past, it will help you there also. But we all have things coming up, events, presentations, interviews, review meetings, and all those things, right? So it will definitely help you. So far, are we good? Give me a yes in the chat box. Are we good? Okay, you want to know one more technique? If these techniques are helping you out, do you want to know one more technique? Okay, but for this, you will have to be on camera. And I mean it. Okay, so this technique is called anchoring, the third one that I'm going to share with you. And this works really well when I can see you. I'm going to hypnotize you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, if possible, I understand you must be at home and probably working from home or however it is. So if possible. All right, I'll give you a third technique and we call it anchoring. Okay. Now, have you heard of this word anchor somewhere? Not the host wala anchor. Have you heard of this word anchor somewhere? What's an anchor?
Your support in a way.
Your support. Okay. All right. You must have heard of a tool called anchor, which is used to keep the ship at one position, to hold the ship. Exactly. There's a tool called anchor, which is used to hold the ship in water, right? Similarly, in psychology, we have a term called anchoring, which helps you to manage your emotions well, right? Now, whatever you want to feel in future, okay? The emotion that you would like to feel in future, probably you want to be confident, you want to be powerful, you want to feel happy, you want to feel excited or enthusiastic, any positive emotion. I'm sure you have felt that emotion sometime in the past, isn't it? Sometime you must have been confident, and that's why you know how confidence feels like, isn't it? Or any other emotion. Okay. I want you to think about this one emotion that you want to keep it for yourself. As in, whenever you want to feel that emotion, you can simply do like this. I mean, this is just one way of doing it. We have different ways. You simply use a gesture and you will be into that emotion. Think about this one emotion with me, okay? It can be confidence, it can be happiness, it can be energetic, it can be enthusiastic, whatever you want. And you can do the same thing for different emotions, right? As of now, for practice, we'll take just one emotion. Now, I'm sure you have felt this emotion sometime in the past. Give me a yes in the chat box. You have felt this emotion sometime in the past. Now, think about this event. Think about this situation when you felt this emotion strongly. I'm talking only about positive emotions, just to let you know. Think about it right now. Go back to the time when you felt this emotion. Get the visuals, get the sounds, get the feelings, and feel it right away. As you feel this emotion, be with this emotion for a while, for 10-15 seconds. Feel it. As you start feeling it, put a yes in the chat box. As you start feeling this emotion. Great, great, great. All right, now I want you to associate a gesture to it. Like, there are certain gestures which help you to feel resourceful or powerful. Like, for a lot of people, it is like, yes. Okay, they say yes and they do this and they feel powerful. For a lot of people, it's like this. For somebody, it can be this. Any gesture. If you have one, great. If you don't have one, create one right away. Okay, I want you to associate one gesture to this emotion that you just felt. Okay, and at the same time, associate a word or a phrase or a statement like yes, or I can do it, or I will do it, or bingo, or hooray, whatever. Okay, this one statement or one phrase that often makes you feel really, really resourceful. If there is no such statement, I want you to create one right away. Okay. Once done, let me know. So we need the emotion, we need the gesture, and third, we need the sound. Sound as in the phrase, statement, whatever. Once you have these three, let me know in the chat box. Take your time, that's okay. I know I'm giving you a lot of things to do, but that's how it works. It does not work with Gyan, you know, it does not work with be positive, be motivated. No, it does not work that way. Great, great. Do you have your gesture, your voice, as in the sound we are talking about, and your emotion? Three things with you right now? Okay, I'm waiting for more people. Yes, yes, perfect, yes. More, please. Great. Now let's do this, okay? When I say, you will get into the same emotional state again. Probably you will remind yourself of some past memory which helped you to be into that emotional state, the positive one I'm talking about, just like you did earlier. As soon as you start feeling that emotion, you're going to use your gesture and your voice. And please scream, okay? You are anyways on mute, so that's okay. Please scream. If you want to unmute yourself and scream, I'm okay with that, right? So again, what I'll do is, I'm in office, that's okay, yeah. Say it for yourself if you cannot scream, right? I want you to think about this memory which puts you into a good state, a positive emotion. Use your gesture and use your voice. Okay, as soon as you start feeling the emotion, you will use your gesture, you will use your voice, and you will be with this emotion for a while. I'll be silent for a few seconds. Please go for it. Do this for yourself. And once you are done, you can let me know in the chat box. The people who are saying done, how do you feel? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about yourself now? Be relaxed. Wow. Lovely. Excited. Wonderful. Free from something. Wow. Wow. And you know what you just did? This is not just being positive because somebody is asking you to do it. You did this for yourself, and you should be proud about yourself just because you did this. You know, all these techniques, a lot of people learn, but not everybody implements. Somebody is saying, I'm getting goosebumps. Happens. That means something is changing, and when something is changing for good, it's always great. And you should be proud of yourself because you did this, because I have taught these techniques to a lot of people, like n number of people, but not everybody implements. You did it for yourself. You should be proud of yourself. And I am proud of you. And I mean it. I mean it. All right. So just to summarize whatever we just learned before I take a few questions, if you have any, we learned what are emotions. We learned that there is nothing called a positive emotion or a negative emotion because emotions are simply emotions. We make it positive and negative for ourselves based on whether it's working for us or if it is not working for us. So if it is working for us, well and good. But if it is not working for us, we need to do something about it, right? Because we only live once. Who knows there is next life or not? So why don't we put ourselves into an emotional state which really works for us? Instead of cribbing or blaming about situations or people, because see, your life is your responsibility. Nobody is going to pull you out of that emotional state unless you want to, right? So for this, we learned 3 techniques today. Reframing, wherein we asked ourselves, what did the event or the situation taught us? How it helped us to be a better version of ourselves. Okay. And when you think about the positive side of it, you start feeling good, you start feeling better. So every time you get into a negative emotion, remind yourself about the learnings, how this is helping you, how it is helping you to be better. Okay. Number 2, we learned ABCDE model, which helps us to dispute, to challenge our belief, the belief that is not working for me, right? And third, we learned anchoring, wherein now you have your own gesture and now you have your own voice, which is associated with that emotion. So what you can do is the gesture and the voice that you have for yourself, you can make it even stronger. And how can you do it? Whenever you start feeling good or whenever you start feeling happy, or any positive emotion, I want you to use your gesture. I want you to use your voice. That's how you will make it even powerful. And whenever you are stuck into an unwanted emotion or a state that is not working for you, use that gesture, use the voice, and I'm telling you, you will feel better. Right? So I hope you learned these 3 techniques. Now, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can write it down in the chat box. I'm here. Anything. If you don't want to, write here because that's very personal or something, you have a direct message option here. Okay. I will not call out your name because I understand when we talk about emotions, situations, people, there can be something which you don't want to reveal in public. And I do understand that. Okay. Yes, Usha, you just raised your hand. You want to ask something?
Getting direct message option. Actually, I was trying to pin.
You're not getting a direct message option?
Yes.
Usha, what you have to do is go to the chat box, and then there's a 2 option. Go over there. You can either tag Punita or you can tag the host, and then you get the option of putting a direct message.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So, folks, you guys can drop your questions, and I'll moderate it, and I'll take it up with Punita. Thank you so much, Punita. That was such a great session. Folks, please take this opportunity and ask as many questions as you have and can with Punita. I myself personally have a question, Punita. So,
Yes, please.
how do you take in situations where, for example, you're extremely angry or you're extremely overwhelmed in a situation, but you know that in that scenario you're not supposed to react because it can be XYZ reasons. It could also be because you're supposed to be strong for other people. You're not in a situation where you can reveal your emotions so that the other person doesn't know that you're being weak. So how do you suggest that one can control their emotions in difficult times?
So very nice question, Gayatri. See, number one is I understand that, we all go through situations, difficult times, difficult situations, because we are human beings. We are not robots, right? Understanding and realizing that it is not working for me. This is the first step, right? See, why do we react? We tend to react because we have certain beliefs, or there are certain values which are not related to the event. I'll give an example to make it even clear. Are you a pet lover, Gayatri, by any chance?
Yes, I love dogs.
You love dogs. Perfect. Now, if somebody is going to hit a dog on the road, how will you feel?
It's going to enrage me. Yeah.
And you might react as well.
Yeah.
This is because of your belief. The belief is, I love dogs, I love pets, and nobody should harm dogs, isn't it? And if you challenge this belief by saying that, see, if somebody else is doing, I can only do something to manage the situation. Probably I can stop the person, or probably I can figure out a way so that I can help the dog. But if I get into an angry mode or reaction mode, is it going to help the situation, or is it going to help me?
No, not really, no.
Right? So the first thing to understand is, before I react, or before I know reactions sometimes are like this, you get into a situation and you tend to react. But see, if you start considering your beliefs, and if you start disputing your beliefs by saying something to yourself, by doing something about it, which will definitely help, I think it is going to make a lot of sense, right? So even with anger, what you simply asked, ABCD model, as I mentioned, it works really well. Okay. Even reframing works really well. Okay. If you think about it, you have to ask yourself, is it really going to help me? Is my anger really going to help me? If yes, please go and feel angry. Okay. Please increase the intensity of anger. But if the answer is no, it is not going to help me, I would suggest challenge the belief and do the needful. Right?
Understood.
Okay. And
Thank
I've
you
got
so much.
so many, my pleasure. I've got so many questions in direct message, actually. I'll
Before
take
you start, Punita, I think there's one message that I'll take up, and then you can start with the
Yes,
ones that
yes,
you've
please,
gotten.
please. Yeah.
So somebody asked if that feeling stays for only few moments. So how to make it stay for longer duration?
Are we talking about the positive feeling?
This person hasn't really given context, but I think you can speak on both aspects. I think she's speaking about positive feelings, in my opinion.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that it's
And
all
positive, yeah.
okay. So one practical thing, a fact that I would like to share with you, no feeling or no emotion is constant. Whether it's a good emotion or whether it's an unwanted emotion, it will never be constant, right? If I'm feeling happy, I cannot feel that happiness every single time, right? So it is okay if the intensity reduces, because that's the fact. We don't have any magical trick for that or any technique for that. But what I can simply mention is this technique called anchoring, wherein you are using your gesture, wherein you are using your sound. If you make it really strong, it will help you to stay in that moment, stay with this feeling for a very long time. Okay, so I would suggest use anchoring there. Okay.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah, Dhanashri, sorry, this person says that it's a positive feeling that they were asking. Yes.
Yes. Okay, I've got so many questions. May I take those questions one by one? Direct messages. I'm not going to name the participants, because I understand it is something coming from their personal situations. Okay, somebody has asked, why do we feel angry when we are trying to recover from an unwanted incident? So one fact, again, I would like to share. We are not robots, as I mentioned, right? If something happens which is not working for us, we tend to get into unwanted emotions, and that is okay. Please don't be too rude and harsh on yourself. Okay, what we can simply do is we can learn to manage ourselves instead of being there. So now you have 3 techniques, and I'm sure you're going to use it. I'm not able to overcome betrayal happened to me recently. I think we all go through such situations, right? Wherein we expected something and then it did not happen. Again, I cannot say don't expect from people, because otherwise you will be Jesus Christ, no? Or you can go to mountains, Leh Ladakh and Himalaya, and you can be a monk there, because you don't want to expect from people. We do have our own expectations, but see, understand, everybody is operating from their model of the world, and everybody has got a unique thought process and different perceptions. We cannot change somebody, just to let you know. We have control only and only on ourselves. The time you realize this, no, the time you start implementing this, that I don't have any control over others, I'm telling you, your thought process will change. And then you will start taking responsibility of yourself instead of thinking about what somebody did to me. Okay. And again, here also, anchoring will help you, just to let you know. How to deal with PTSD, that is post-traumatic stress disorder. The first thing that we learned, reframing. I have done this with a lot of clients, and I'm telling you, it works like magic. You do reframing every single day. If somebody is suffering from PTSD, I'm telling you, it will work. Okay. Someone I was holding on to from long, 2+ years, said he does not see the relationship very feasible to work out. Got a lot on my plate, feel kind of bad too. Maybe he did it for a right reason, but it does feel very bad. I can relate, I can understand. Again, we go through this situation. See, I understand situation was tough. It's challenging, it's difficult. But I would simply say that think about the learnings you got from this person or from this relationship. If not learnings, ask yourself, do you know now what I need to do in future? What kind of relationship I'm really looking forward to in future, so that I don't get into such a situation again? The time you start realizing it, reframing, I'm only using reframing, nothing else, you will come out of it. I can't control my tears when I'm too angry and frustrated, and I cannot change anything as it is in not my hand. And it is so difficult when I'm in professional meetings. First of all, I would say, please don't try to control your emotions, right? We are only understanding how to manage emotions and not to control or not to hide. I can understand you cannot cry in front of your managers or your team members. I do understand, right? But then start using reframing, ABCDE, and anchoring model for yourself now onwards, okay? Because I can see you have got a lot of unwanted emotions which are suppressed from the past. That's why you're coming up with this question. Probably you got hurt, you were in grief, something that did not work for you, you have suppressed it for a very long time, and hence it is coming up. Please use these 3 techniques with yourself so that you feel better, okay? Oh my God, there's a list, right? And I hope we can extend for 5 minutes. Is it possible, Gayatri?
Yes, Punita, let's take around 3 to 4 questions more.
Yeah. I'm just trying to understand which question to take and which not to take.
Maybe you can club the questions. I think that way
Yes,
able
that
to answer
will be better, because I still got somewhere 15, 20 questions. Okay. But it's good that people are coming up with questions, right? Okay, Okay, I'll club a few questions. People have asked how to deal with situations which are not working, or how to come out of negative emotions like hurt, guilt. So guys, simple answer is use reframing and ABCD model. Okay, you have got the magic trick now. You have got the tool for yourself now. Sometimes people don't appreciate you for making yourself better for them. That's an emotional bomb. Okay, why don't I appreciate myself? You are your own motivating factor. You know that. The time you start appreciating yourself, the time you start feeling that, okay, I have to take care of myself and my life, and I'm responsible for my life. I am saying this, okay, with conviction, because I do this with myself. Things will change for you. Thing is bothering or giving stress. Guys, to cope up with stress, I would simply say start using anchoring, start using ABCDE model. ABCDE model will pull you out of stress like this, right? It's a proven technique. Psychiatrists, psychologists, and we being NLP trainers, all of us use these techniques. So you can do this. Is it right to feel that he should regret losing me? Okay. Why do we want to prove, or why do we want others to feel in a way that, okay, you lost me, and see, now karma is going to be there, somebody is going to make you feel the same way. You will love somebody, and the person will leave you, and you will feel the same way. Guys, let's make it easy for ourselves. We are responsible for our lives, for our happiness. The time you understand this, the time you realize this, I'm telling you, the world will change for you. Okay. So instead of thinking what I can do for others, what I can do with others, not for others, definitely we need to help each other. But what I want somebody else to feel, if I consider my feelings, if I take care of my feelings, I believe this is going to make a lot of sense, right? So yeah, I've taken most of the questions. I know the list is big, never ending. So what I can do is you all can connect with me on LinkedIn. I think that should be fine. That should be great. So you'll find me on LinkedIn with the same name, Punita Chatwani, that you can see here. There's just one Punita Chatwani, so you'll find me easily. Connect with me on LinkedIn, okay? If you want to talk, if you want to ask something, please write down in the message, okay, on LinkedIn, and I'll be able to answer in next 48 hours. Why I say 48 hours? Because of my own schedule and coachings and trainings. So I'll make sure that I answer to your questions, right? I'll be glad. All right, so thank you so much. I hope this session helped you in a practical way and not in a motivational way, right? And I'm sure you are going to use these techniques for yourself and make yourself feel better. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Punita. Guys, I'm sure this has been very helpful, and the mail that you'll receive after the session, you'll have all the details that you can connect to with Punita. Thank you everyone for joining. This has been really insightful, and we look forward to you guys joining our future sessions as well. We do sessions on physical, mental wellness, financial wellness, as well as social sessions towards the end of the month. We have a music session happening towards the end of August, as in we have a music session coming up now. So we're looking forward to everyone joining. And thank you so much, Punita, for your time. It was a great session. Thank you,
Pleasure is
everyone.
all mine. Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.